I was gonna make this video a part of a larger video, but I think I'll just turn it into its own. I never really tell stories alone like this, but I think this one can actually bring a good message. Near my house, there is this long road that winds into the hills, and I never really go beyond the first part of it because the first part is where a lot of the good like hiking trails and nature spots are, and I'll sometimes record videos there. A lot of my videos in nature are at that spot. One day I wanted to check out if there were more spots further, and there's this hill at the very beginning of it. At the very beginning of this road, there's a long sort of gradual hill. It's not really steep, but at the top it levels out and has a little bit of a left turn, and then there's like this bump. You can't really see at the very top of the hill. When you're looking up to the top of the hill, when you're driving on it, you can't see what's over it. You can't see if anyone's coming, but it's this two-lane, two-way road. So I'm going this way and other people are coming this way. I've driven on this road a lot before. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not really, thinking too much. And I was driving probably, a little bit slow because I was thinking to myself, oh, should I just pull over right now? Like, do we really need to go further? I could probably just find a good, nature spot to record in out where I usually do. But then as I'm getting close to the top of the hill, I'm thinking, nah, maybe we should just go further and see if there's any really cool spots to record at. And so as I make up my mind, I'm about at the top of the hill. I still can't really see over it, but as my front tires, as I get over the top of the hill, my back tires are still kind of on the hill, and there's this slight left turn, right? I haven't really made it yet. I see this black thing just zipping at me. This car is going like 80, 90 miles per hour. I've never seen a car go this fast on this road. There is this straightaway after you make after you level out and make that slight left turn. And so they're zipping it down the straightaway and they're coming really fast at me. Like by the time I'm comprehending what's happening, they're like 20 feet in front of my car and they're going into the dip that's right after this little turn. But I haven't made the turn yet. I just brake as hard as I can right when I see them. And they were closing in so fast, I had like no time to react. I just slammed on the brakes. And usually when you slam on the brakes, you jolt forward and you feel that a lot. I was just so locked in. I'm like, holy shit, they are going so fast right now. And as they go down that bump, I'm thinking, oh fuck, this might be over for me. It might be over for me. And I see them come up out of the dip. It's not a bump, it's a dip. They come up out of the dip and I see their tires go like they don't come off the ground, but I can see them like expand and stretch as if they're like trying to hold on to the ground. And maybe it's irrational to think even now or in that moment that the traction would have lost and they would have lost control, but they're going around a turn out of a little bump going like 90 miles per hour. And in that moment I just think to myself, oh, it's over. GG's bro, I'm dead. If these tires, I thought they were genuinely just going to lose control. And from where I'm driving, I don't know if any of you Brits are watching or anyone from anyone from Australia, but from where they're coming, I'm driving this way, they're coming around like this. If they lose traction, because I haven't fully made that turn yet to level out, if they lose traction here, they're slamming straight into where I am in my car. And that is insta-kill over for me. And I see in the driver's seat and the passenger seats these two blonde chicks, and I just think to myself, they're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me right here, right now. And that's not how I was thinking. Actually, all these thoughts, oh, that's how my life ends. Like, this is how it goes. I genuinely just thought, that's it, bro. That's it. That's how you go out. Two teenage girls slam into you with 2 tons of metal or with a ton of metal, and you're just dead. Lights out like that, and then there's nothing I could do. I couldn't prevent it. I couldn't like drive forward. My reaction was just to brake. And I see the tires are trying as hard as they can to just grip onto the ground. They're lifted up. The car is like literally almost about to float off the ground, it feels like. But then they zip right by me. And I swear, I kid you not, I sit there like this for 15 seconds. No thoughts in my brain. No, I'm just like in shock. Like, what are they doing? I couldn't even think of anything, and I finally look in my rearview mirror, and I see them. They pull into the dirt driveway that I was about, or not the driveway, but the dirt path that I almost parked on, and they get out, and they're like laughing and smiling, and they have no idea, genuinely no clue, the terror they just put me through. I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna die. I thought their car was gonna lose control and they were gonna hit me, and it was over, bro. It was schmover for me. Like, nothing I could do. Genuinely a full force 90-mile-per-hour hit to straight to where I'm sitting in the car. It's over. And as I'm looking at them, I'm just thinking all these thoughts, like, what are they doing? They're so stupid. Like, they actually could have killed me, and then their life's over. Like, what do they think they're doing? They're just laughing, having fun. Like, it's not even a joke. I could have just died, and I'm mad at them. I can't understand why, what are they doing? They're so stupid. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I could have just died there, right there, and they don't even care. They don't even know. They're just like, oh, let's have fun. Oh my god, we're listening to music right now. It's hit 90 down this girl. Like, oh my god, bro. I was actually just sitting there losing it. I'm still just break there, and there's no one coming up behind me, so I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, what? And I do eventually, drive off, but I can't get the thought out of my head for the rest of the day. Even while I'm driving on that road, I'm like, yo, Loki, is anyone else going like 90 miles per hour? I gotta be careful on this road. Like, and it wasn't even worth it. I didn't even find a spot to record. And I just thought to myself throughout the rest of the day, I genuinely could have just gotten killed by these two girls. My life could have been over. No more videos, no more achieving goals, nothing that I wanted to do in my life, never seeing my family again, my friends again. All of that, I feel like in the moment, you sort of split second think about it. Like, it's over. I'm gone. I'm never going to achieve anything I wanted to achieve. My family, I'm going to be dead. I'm never seeing them again. I'm not going to see that, It's just all these things went through my head in that moment, and after that moment, I don't know if it's really a possibility, if it was a possibility in that situation where they could have lost control. I really do think it is, and maybe, you'll be like, Max, you're being irrational. Like, what are you talking about? I know way more about cars. There's no way it would have lost traction. There's no way, they obviously were going to turn. But even if they, were slightly inebriated, what if they were just slightly, drunk, or if it was nighttime, or if it was darker, like, high chance I'm just, like, destroyed. My car and my body is destroyed. It's even just crazy for me to think back on, because, like, genuinely, in that one split second could have been over. And I know everyone says that, right? And this is mainly what I talk about. Everyone says, you could die at any moment. I made a video a long time ago about you can die at any moment. Like, someone could just snipe you right now from outside, like, your window. Like, someone could just, and then I'm dead, right? Split second, I'm dead. Didn't even know it. But we never really understand, we can't comprehend and actualize, like, what that means for us, right? It should mean, okay, I know I can die at any moment, so I gotta make the most out of my life. I gotta make the most out of every single second, because it's so precious, because it can be taken away from me whenever. I'm so mortal, right? When you realize your own mortality, we should be like, okay, now let's live life to the fullest. But for some reason, even though that happened to me, and maybe it's because it wasn't like a crazy near-death experience. It wasn't like I stopped breathing and then I came back to life. Like, they brought me back to life. They're like, they shocked me back. No, that didn't happen to me. But I do think that in that moment, I really felt the fear of I'm going to die. I felt that fear of death. I saw death coming straight at me, going 90 miles per hour at my face. I don't know what it is, but it's so easy to just kind of rub it off as like, nah, I'm not going to die. After it happens, like what? No, I'm gonna live, obviously. Most people live their normal life. Most people live to 80 years old. Like, come on, like, that's the average. Of course we're gonna live to then. And it's so easy to comfort yourself and tell yourself, no, that's not gonna happen to me. And of course it wouldn't happen to me. Of course it would happen to you. It would happen to any of us. It doesn't matter what situation it is. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, you could be over for you. Everything you know could be gone, taken away from you in a moment. Just stripped away from you like that, and there is nothing you can do about it. But it's weird how, even though I know that myself, I still find myself wasting time. I still find myself doing stupid stuff. Even though I had that experience, and after I was thinking about that all day, it still didn't push me to never go back to the bad habits and never waste time again and always treat my time like it's precious, because it is, but it's so hard to actualize that and be like, yes, of course, I'm not going to waste a single second of my life. Even though we know we should. You know you shouldn't waste a single moment of your life, but you still do. We're so mortal, but we have no concept of what death is, and we've only been living. Like, we know, like, what it means to die, but we really have no idea what that experience is like. We've only experienced living, so that's all we know, which means we think, oh, that's all there's gonna be. But the truth is, death is coming for all of us, sooner or later. And whether it is in 80 years or whether it is tomorrow, you still want to make the most of the time that you have. And I don't know, you might think differently, but I genuinely believe if you even haven't experienced near death, even if you haven't almost died or it's felt like you almost died, I think you can still come to the understanding that you need to make the most out of your life. Get to a point where you're basically not wasting any of it. And by wasting, I just mean, doing bad habits and stuff. And you can debate whether that's a total waste of time or not. But for me, I feel like that's not making the most of your life. And you probably feel that way too. The thing that I've taken away from all of it is, yeah, I could have died, right? And thinking that you could die all the time, that's not really the point. The point is, you need to make the most of your life. You need to make the most of your life. It's not really that you should, it's that you need to. In that moment where I almost died, the biggest thought was, I'll never get to do all those things that I wanted to do. Whether you think it or not, your mind really wants you to go and achieve things. Whether you think it or not, there's so much in your life that you would regret not doing if it ended right now. And so, you gotta understand, yes, you could die at any moment, whatever. Your life is very precious. The thing that's more important than that, you are going to regret the things that you didn't do in your life when it comes to an end if you don't put your all into whatever that thing is. Whatever that thing you might regret if you didn't do, you gotta do it. Because that's the worst feeling. Genuinely one of the worst feelings in that moment, just thinking, I can't do any of those things. I'm gonna be dead. I'll never reach my goals of trying to, grow this YouTube channel. I'll never help another single person. You also think about family. I'll never see my family again. They never see me again. Never talk to them again. And it makes you fucking sad. So, even if you haven't experienced that near-death experience, you need to somehow actualize and realize this feeling inside of you that, yes, life is very precious and you could die at any moment, but your body, your soul, who you are, it craves, it needs you to fulfill something, to fulfill a purpose in your life, to do the things that you should be doing that you will regret not doing when your life comes to an end. Don't live with that regret. I guess that's the biggest thing. I think I've said this many times, but one of the worst things that you could ever do in your life is regret the things you didn't do. Right? At the end of the day, there are horrible things you can do, right? But for the most part, you're going to regret more the things you didn't do than the things that you did do. I really don't want you to be in a situation like I was. And yeah, again, maybe I was being irrational, but where it actually does happen. Or maybe I become, paralyzed for the rest of my life. And there's so much that I should have done before. That so much time I shouldn't have taken for granted before. And I know it's easy to take everything for granted when it doesn't feel like your life's in imminent danger, or like obviously no one's gonna snipe me through the window right now. It's important that you bring yourself to realize, not that you're gonna die in every moment. That's what I'll say, because I know some people that freaks them out. It's more that you have things in your life that you really do deep down want to do and want to achieve. One of the worst feelings, one of the worst things I think that could happen to you is in the end thinking to yourself, I should have done more. I regret not doing that. What was I doing with my time? What was I doing with my life? So whatever it is, think about it right now. What is it that you know you should be doing? What you want to become? A bodybuilder, a power lifter. You want to start making content. You want to change people's lives by starting a non-profit. What do you want to do? What is calling out to you? And even if you don't know what you want, and even if you don't know what's calling out to you, start searching and start doing what you know is good, at least for you. What you know is a should in your life. Things like exercise and eating healthy. I know that's probably not what you're thinking about at the end of your life. Oh damn, should have just ate healthier. Even though, yeah, that's something you probably will regret when you're living. When you get older, should have probably ate healthier and done more exercise when you were younger. But, truly at the end, what you'll be probably thinking about is family, thinking about spending time with your family and the relationships that you could have or you know you didn't have, or the relationships that you never tried. You never tried to reconcile it. You never tried to make work. Probably also your deep down your dreams in life, your family and your relationships, and what you think is purposeful in your life, what gives your life meaning. Don't neglect those things. Do not take them for granted. Get yourself to the point, and I'm trying to get myself to the point where wasting time feels like a slap in the face to you, to the future you that would look back and absolutely regret what they did, what they spent their time on. But yeah, that's about it. That's the story about how 2 white chicks almost killed me, huh? I don't wish that upon you. I don't wish a near-death experience upon you. But I hope the realization can come to you. The moral of the story can go deep down there in your heart, and you can start living life the way you should. Or really, the way you know you should. And as always, never stop improving. You'll be grateful for it later.